Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. So you guys know, if you've watched me before, I love a good mashup. And with the Melon Mania that's happening this month, I thought maybe we would have some fun and mash it up with something that you've already seen before. So I'm going to take a couple of the card patterns from the Hello Darling card making workshop, and we're going to rework them with the products from Melon Mania. So I purposefully only picked 2 cards, but I actually think that you could totally adapt all 4 of the cards to products from the Melon Mania. But so I'm just going to add my desk in here right now. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to show you kind of what I am going to do. So here we go. Okay, so when you purchase, right, a card making workshop, it comes with the guide. It walks you through how to create the cards. So you create with the kit, right, 4 of 4 designs for a total of 16 cards. So like I said, this one features the Hello Darling, and I put them together quite a while ago, and I thought, why don't we try and Melon Mania them up? So like I said, I've picked 2 cards. So I've actually picked card number 1 and card number 3, and we're going to apply some of the Melon Mania products to it. So I've taken, like I said, my inspiration from these cards, and then just when you look at the marketing, advertising photographs, you can see, right, they've used all sorts of the little stamps because the stamp set is full of tons and tons of little icons. So there's a couple of borders, right? There's this plaque that I used last week on my layout. There's some words, so you could say like thanks a melon. I'm actually going to use the happy birthday sentiment from Hello Darling, because also if you already have it, right, you want to be able to get a lot of value out of it. So I am going to use that one because I need a couple of birthday cards. And then so I'm going to take all these icons, because there's tons of fun little icons, right? The arrows, the hearts, the little flower, all sorts of different kinds of arrows. So we can just have some fun with that and kind of use that, but apply it to the Hello Darling workshop. Okay, so I did pre-cut my pieces. So like I said, we're going to create this card, which was card number 1. So when you look in here, right, it gives you all the, it's just like my workshops, right? Like it gives you all the cutting dimensions for your pieces of paper. So I've taken them and I have reworked them with Hello Darling. No, this is Hello Darling. I've reworked it with the Melon Mania. Okay, and so my favorite color combination with, sorry, just one second. Okay, I think that's better, but maybe not. It's funny because it's backwards, right? So my favorite color combination with Melon is Seabrook. It's the same thing, right? I used in my scrapbooking workshop. I love these 2 colors together. Good morning, Diane. So that's what I'm going to use as my accent color. I was just originally actually going to do them all with Melon, but I thought maybe we would throw some Seabrook in here. And then I do have my intense black also. So I have my Versamat down. I have some blending brushes. Like I said, I have my stamp sets. And I did also grab liquid pearls. That's what I'm going to use as, good morning, Pauline. I'm going to use as my embellishments. I also have the clear sparkles here, which are the same as they used in the workshop. So I'm going to kind of use those 2 things together. So I'm going to flip my Versamat and we'll start with this first one. Like I said, I need a couple of birthday cards. So I am going to use the happy birthday sentiment from the Hello Darling, because for starters, I love the script. I love a good script font, especially for cards, and a sentiment that you can use over and over and over again. So here we go. Okay, so I'll show you the pieces of paper that I picked out. I remembered my card bases today. I'm super proud of myself. That is the tendency I have to forget those. So we're going to recreate card number 1 from the Hello Darling. So first off, I did pick the polka dot paper because I'm a sucker for the polka dot paper. So that's what we're going to use instead of the stars. And then we're going to use some of the fun cardstock. So the specialty cardstock has all the silver in it. So I'm going to use the diagonal stripe one. And so I've just cut it the same size as the sapphire. If you need the workshop guide and you don't have it, you can go to my website. And if you go over to the more, you can find all past like card making workshops, anything that they've put out as a kit. So in the background, there is honey butter, and then the stamping is with candy apple, sapphire, and then more honey butter. But so I'm going to do my distressing in the background, or my ink blending in the background, just with the Seabrook, and then I'm going to stamp my happy birthday in black, and then we're going to have just some fun with those little icon stamps, and we are going to just make it a fun little card. So as always, I'm just inking up my brush, and I always tap it off. You'll find I have a tendency to tap it off in the top of my ink pad because for some reason I think that's probably better than just tapping it off on a piece of paper where you're going to throw your piece of paper in the garbage. Potentially that ink, if it's on the lid of my stamp pad, I figure it's going to make it back into my stamp pad somehow. Even if I just use it later for like coloring with a water brush and my ink. So the Seabrook, you guys are probably not going to see it very much, but I'm just laying it all in the background just so I don't have like that stark white background. I'm just going to blend it a little bit more. So there you go. I kind of have the same thing. And then I'm actually just going to use my blending brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit around the outside just so that when I put it down, I don't have like that crazy stark line between the white and the melon. So just like that. And then first, we're going to add the sentiment because I want to get it kind of in the middle. And then we will pull out our melon and pull out some of the stamps and add them to our background. So like I said, I'm just going to, yes, having the ink just sitting in the lid, even if I'm just going to watercolor with it later, is perfect. Then I don't have to worry even about squishing it out of my ink pad. So I am just, like I said, I'm going to use the Hello Darling Happy Birthday. And kind of put it in the center there. And then before I turned the camera on, I just threw a whole pile of the icons onto some blocks. And I'm going to only use melon, I think, for this one, for the rest of the stamping. So I have like some of the squiggly arrows, some of the dotted arrows. I'm going to use them on both the cards, so I'm not really sure what we'll do. There's the fun hearts. I really like this one, the arrow with the stripes across it. And the dotted heart. For sure, I want the dotted heart because I have the little polka dots in the background. And then this one, there's this fun round circle stamp with the arrow on top. And then there's like another squiggly. There's a little flower. So those are kind of the things that I've pulled off just to start. And we'll see where this goes. And so I'm really going to just random stamp some of the images onto the card, just kind of replicating the stars, but just with the different kinds of icons. So there's my card base. Here's my Melon ink. And some of them, I want them to go off of the little white daisy piece of paper, so that just for some interest. So I will start with the little polka dot heart because I knew that I wanted that on there for sure. Also, lots of times if I am going to use different sized images, I will always try and put on a couple of my biggest ones first. So because of the size of my panel, I don't think that I'm going to end up using like that this solid arrow one. Maybe we'll use it on the second card. But if I was, that's probably the one I would start with. So I'll do one up here. And then I'm going to do one off the bottom. So I'm just going to grab a little scrap piece of paper here so that I can stamp off. So I seem to get myself very crowded on my desk very quickly. So here we go. So like I said, the little polka dot is kind of my favorite. And I know I want the arrow on here with the little stripes across it. So maybe I'll do one here. And one over here. And just like right off the edge there. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so this is like the squiggly arrow one. It'll look better too once I don't have my other piece of colored cardstock underneath here. But like this arrow is so cute. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay. And then I think we're gonna go with the solid heart. Well, that one hardly made it on there. Maybe I'll move that up just a little bit. There we go. It kind of reminds me of like when, it kind of reminds me, you know, like when you used to like doodle in a notebook when you weren't paying attention in school. That is kind of what this is reminding me of. Okay, and I know I need something over here, so we are going to add this fun swirly one. And it's kind of perfect to just fill up this space here. This would actually also make a super cute background for like a when I was talking about like doodling for school. It would make a great background if you wanted to like make your own custom piece of paper for like a school themed scrapbooking page. You could do them in all different colors because it does have totally like that doodle effect to it. And then Like I could totally see that as being like a great build your own piece of paper for a school day themed layout. Okay, so now we just need to put this together. And then I'll do the second one. But like always remember that there's like tons and tons of inspiration. You just have to decide what you're going to do. And I always love a good mashup, like finding something that two things that you might not think go together and throwing them together. So there we go with the polka dot one in the background. And then I love the diagonal stripe one. And then the back sides of all of them are melon. So, and then there is like in that specialty cardstock pack also just some plain melon cardstock. So there we go. And then I think we're going to pop that up on 3D foam because we can. And then I will add my embellishments. And you could see how quickly it came together by like pulling one thing from one spot with another. It's kind of like when you use like a workshop guide, right? It becomes easier and easier to create because you kind of get in the flow of creating more. It becomes easier to see things, I think. Okay. So when I did the Hello Darling ones, I did do them all flat because those ones I'm going to be mailing, but these ones are just going in an envelope to be like attached to a gift, so I can add 3D foam. Okay, so let's make sure we got our sentiment going the right way because I'm notorious for sometimes doing it upside down. Okay, so first I'm going to add my sparkles and then I'm going to add my liquid pearls because once I add my liquid pearls, right, I can't touch it anymore. So we're going to do that first, the clear sparkles. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure that this is, I'm just looking for, so this is the coral, which I thought it kind of like went perfectly with the melon. So I do like to clean the tip off every once in a while because sometimes you get like a little bit of dried paint because it's like acrylic paint, right, stuck in there. So I'm just going to add a couple of dots in the mix. So I'm just kind of touching it down and then bringing it right back up. So it kind of gives it a fun little shine, and I can fill in kind of any of the spots where I think I need something else. It's kind of like pretty full, so I'm not overly worried about it, but I'm going to see, you can always gently move things around. So there we go. there is our first mashup. And I think it's super cute, right? And they're totally different, right? But they're different but the same. It's kind of a great fun mashup there. Okay, so then we're going to see if I can leave this here and not touch it, because you know I do have issues with that. Okay, so then this is the second one that I picked. And you might think, that's going to be an interesting one. So, but I swapped out some of the papers so that we'll be changing them up here. So this is my thought process here. So I do have my card base. Let me just give that a good crease. And so where they have the sapphire piece, I'm going to swap it out for white daisy. And this piece, I'm going to kind of run with the same theme. And then for the toffee, I have this striped piece. And then for the stars, I have a piece of the cardstock. It's the one that looks like the little squares. It's just got the little UV coating. So I'm going to add that in like that. And then instead of doing the stitched lines on either side, I have, whoever remembers, last week I did have this pre-cut at 1/8 of an inch, but it wasn't 12 inches long. So we're going to use this just on each of the ends for the same spot that's the stitch line. But I want to take the same idea of the stitch line, and I'm going to use, there is like one of the border border stamps here. It's just got the little arrows, and I know you can't see it on there, but it's this long one here. And so I'm going to do that on each side of this. And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing in the middle as I did there. So here is the card we're remaking. Okay, and now I think I'm done sitting down, because I have to be able to see over top to do this one. And I don't think I should do that while I am sitting down. So I actually think I'm going to do the border in Seabrook. We're going to see what happens. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a little bit of the Seabrook with my blending brush in the middle. And then we will have some, you know what? I'm not going to do it the long way. I'm going to do it on the top and the bottom. That is what I decided. So sometimes I try things out before and sometimes I don't. And today I didn't. So we are totally winging it. The pretty flower border would be nice too on this one. This border would be awesome also on a scrapbooking layout, because it could be like a whole little path, right? Kind of fun. Okay, so there we go. We have our little border. Now we're going to add a little bit of ink. And same thing, I'm just going to lightly use the brush on my edges, almost just to stress them, just instead of a sponge, because this is what we have. Okay, so that is our starting point. And for this one, I think we are going to do the Thanks a Melon on it. So we're going to go like that and like that. And I'm going to do the melon one first. I just need, okay, and I think we're gonna do some two-tone stamping here. So I'm gonna do the Seabrook and the melon together. I'm just gonna move these up just a little bit. And so I'm going to do the thanks with the Seabrook, and then the melon I'm going to do two-tone. So I'm just going to add some of the Seabrook across the very top. And then the melon on the bottom. It's fun. It's super hard to see because my lights are actually so bright. But there we go. We will try this and see what happens. So pretty. How fun is that? And then we will do that thanks in the Seabrook. And then we're going to do just some fun random stamping with the melon again. So let's put that up there for a second. Move those over there. I need a block. You would think with like the 20 blocks I literally have on my desk at the moment, I have not used this yet. So, and it is super light, so I just want to see it on the white. Okay. So there we go. So now all I'm going to do is do exactly the same thing I did before. We will fill it in with some of the images. So I'm going to cover up my Seabrook. Don't need my black. Here I want to put some of the ones that I didn't put on the other one on this one. So I did not use the flower, so we're going to use the flower, and I'm going to add a sparkle into the middle of the flower, or I can use the stickles, like the stickles, liquid pearls. So the same way I used the big heart, I knew that I really wanted that on the other one. So on this one, I know that I really want this one. So we're just gonna start with that one. Whatever I want, I know that I want on there for sure. Okay, we don't need that one. Maybe we'll do this one. There's actually, I think, a smaller part. I don't think I want that wonky heart. I think I'm going to stick with this one. So there we go. And then I keep picking up the happy birthday. There is, we're going to do a different arrow. this two-ended arrow, I think, on this one. So, and I haven't used this one either, so we'll just season it first. There we go. And let's see what else we want to put on here. So this one is totally out, right? Because I've run out of room. If I wanted that one on there, I should have started with it. But I kind of want maybe this tiny arrow here, which I also haven't used yet. There we go. And I'm trying to get like a half decent balance of solid images, but we're going to actually add the polka dot one again. There we go. Okay, so now I think I am going to fill it in and then assemble my card. So you can move this out of the way. And just because it actually has been a while since I assembled the Hello Darling, let's just look at where we are supposed to line things up. So it even has right on here the measurements, right? So we're going to add this piece in first, right? For us, that's this one. And so it is 1.5 inches from the edge. So I'm going to flip my Versamat over. I'm going to move some things out of my way. So here we go. You actually have to add this piece first, and this is at 1 1/4 from the edge. We're going to make sure our card faces the right direction. So 1 1/4 would be right there. This makes it so easy, but I can also just grab my T ruler if I need to. But it is 1 1/4. I'm just top to bottom. And then I'm going to add these pieces next. So like I said, these are just the UV coated cardstock. And I did cut these the same as this one because I'm going to, when I add my, so this is the glitter paper, I'm going to make this the shorter part. So in the original card here, right? Oh no, they are the same. Okay, well, then this is going to be the same. So I did, like I said, I added last week adhesive sheet onto the back of a piece of the Melon glitter paper. Sorry, I'm just looking for my tweezers. And it was not long enough to go across my 12 by 12 cardstock. So I put it aside, but you can always find a use for it. So we're going to add it here. And I do have extra adhesive sheets coming off here. So when I put it down, I'm going to pick up the extra adhesive from the outside with my rub and remove. So it's just got a little tiny bit of extra that ran off the edge. So I don't want my card to stick to everything. So it will just grab whatever is extra that I don't need. So here we go. Easy. So, and this is just gonna trim it just like ever so slightly. Because it is just slightly too long. But better to be too long and have to trim it than too short and try and have to fix it. There we go. So pretty. Okay, and do I have some? I have some over here too. Just because it was right along the edge of my adhesive sheet, so it must have just missed slightly. There we go. Okay, so see, like completely different, but the same. So now you can add this. This would also be cute if you added like the melon ribbon on here. This one I'm going to do flat because it is longer and I don't want the edges to poke up. So there we go. So now same thing, I'm going to add. So this time I'm actually going to do my pearls first because I want to fill in this big space. I feel like this is the biggest space on here. So there we go. And then I can kind of just slide in, right, a few of those little clear sparkles. Oh, I said I was going to put them in the middle of the flowers, didn't I? So that's what we'll do. I should have maybe, though, put that one a little bit farther on our card, but oh well. Still cute. Yes, I like those on there. So there we go with that one. So also super cute, right? Very different than the original. So that is what I've got for you guys today. But like I said, I know that other ones would totally work out the same too. You could very easily, I thought, adapt this one also and the last one too. So always I always love a good mashup. So you never know where the next mashup will be. So we'll just take a little close-up of those cards. But I actually think they turned out super cute. So original and the new one. And then the original and our new version. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and add them to the comments, and I always come back and read the comments and try and answer everybody's questions. So have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.